Welcome back to Fantabulous Bags, where we do product development sketches of handbags and other accessories. Okay, today we're going to be working obviously with this vintage beaded bag. Lovely. It's actually made in France, and it has this kind of a pattern. I think it's supposed to be a flower. That we're going to do in Illustrator. You can see it has a little rhinestone detail here, and drop-in chain, which we're not going to bother with. No gusset. Flat, flat, flat. The other side we'll see. We'll figure out which one side we want to do when we do our sketch on Illustrator or apply textures on Illustrator. Okay, so what do? As usual, the first thing we do is we give ourselves a measurement so that we have an idea of our proportion. So, maybe if I did this right side up. Okay, so this is about 8. And the height is about, like, what, 6? Oh, it's 6. Perfect. Okay. Give yourself a 6. Okay. So that makes sense. A little more proportionate than I actually gave it credit for, but okay. So let's go ahead. Being that we're working with a very flat bag, there's hardly any gusset to it. There's really not much to do in terms of a 3/4 view, but whatever. We'll go ahead. Okay, first things first, let's do the top. Give ourselves a little bit of a idea here. Let's see. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do sure. I'm gonna just go halfsies on my measurements so that I can have sort of an idea of the proportion. Okay, so there. Okay. So now we'll look at our bag and we'll see how we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw our frame where it pinches in. Okay, and then it kind of goes out. Okay. Has a little bit of a square view. And there. All right. When we apply our, this a little more curvy. When we apply our heavier markers, which is going to be either, well, you choose. You can choose either a brush marker or even a Sharpie. I'm going to give it a little of a bumpy outline because, you know, it's bumpy. It's got like this kind of beady feel. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is the kiss lock. This is called the kiss lock. Very nice. Okay, so let's do the kiss lock. So we're going to figure that in the middle, a little bit more to the side just because it is kind of like foreshortened. I'm going to push it a little bit more, cheat it over. This is a perfect time when you're in pencil to make any corrections. Okay, so there's one prong in the front and one in the back, so you make sure you put that there. And then the prong in the front has this kind of an idea here. And the other one is behind it, so it's kind of like that. All right. So you look at it. If it looks strange, you redraw it until you get something that you're happy with. Just remember that people, especially the people that are doing your sampling, they have to make sure that your sketch is readable for them, and also your buyers, if they're into looking at your stuff. There. Okay. So now I have an idea. I have my kiss lock. I'm kind of happy the way it looks. I redrew it several times, but I think it's good. Okay, so there we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick brush marker or Sharpie, and we're going to do an outline of the bag where it's 3-dimensional. Most of this bag is going to be in Sharpie. Most of the details are actually going to be in, see, is that one? Nah, I want a thicker one. Is going to be done on the computer. But you want to start with a nice sketch so that as you go into the computer, it looks good. All right, there we go. Okay, now I'm still not crazy about this. I think I want to do it more like that. All right, that's better. Okay, there. Okay, so first things first, brush marker. Okay, so like I said, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of an uneven edge because, you know, we're dealing with a beaded bag, a beaded all over bag. So we want to make sure that it has that look, a little bumpy look. All right, so let's see. Being that we're going to be using Adobe Illustrator, we want to make sure, though, that when we make our bumpy line, we don't leave any holes. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to do a live trace with this. I mean, that's the way I do this kind of thing. And if there's holes in your sketch, you know, there's empty spots in your line sketch, and then those get scanned into your computer, and then you're going to have little inconsistencies in your sketch. When you open it, it's not going to look good, and then the color will bleed out into areas you don't want, or they just won't color at all. So you want to make sure that your sketch does not have any holes, even if you're doing this type of uneven bumpy edge like a beaded bag. Okay, or, you know, some straw thing, you know, like those lovely old Kate Spade bags. All right, here we go. Now, all right, I'm going to choose to use a thinner fine line to do my details, even stuff that is like here, more three-dimensional, but I'm going to do it this way because it's just getting too heavy. Just you can, all right, let me see, this thing had like a, yeah, faceted kind of a stony thing. You can do that also, give indication of it. There we go. Okay. All right. All right, there. Okay, so now we have here this line, which is going to indicate our fold-in hidden frame. As you can see, it's all covered, so you don't see it at all. But you have to indicate it because it's there. So we're going to go with our thin line, and we're also going to make it beaded edged because it is. All right. There. Okay. Anywhere you leave a hole, make sure you cover it if you want that to be. Okay, so now we have our bag. Now, this is probably one of the shortest videos I've ever done. Okay, so I'm going to clean off this, get rid of all of our pencil sketch marks, and ta-da! Now, you might want to put an indication of the side seam. Like you can see it's just a row of beads. You can do that. It's probably not a bad idea, so let's do that. We'll give ourselves a side seam here. Very faint. All right. Okay, did I get everything? I think I did. Okay, so that was a very short class. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will be seeing you back next week to fill this in with lovely beading. Okay. All right, I hope you enjoyed your class. I hope that you subscribe, and see you around. Bye.